The purpose for us being here today is to talk about speaking in business. All right, let's go. Developing and delivering your speech. It's really crucial when you have a talk that you do 4 things. You want to captivate the audience at the start. It's really important to do that. And I see many speakers who get into the habit of starting to try to already connect or try to give their material to the audience before they've captivated them, before they've really gotten their attention out of whatever. So we're going to talk about some of the ways you do it. Now, some of these things are going to have to do with the message, and some of these things are going to have to do with your physical presentation technique. You want to start your speech clearly focused on benefits for the people in the audience. You don't want to start your speech with thanking the host, thanking the audience for being there. You don't want to start the speech with a big long story about yourself. You don't want to repeat your name if the introducer already gave your name. The audience came to see you so that they would understand what's in it for them. The more clearly you can get to the audience's benefits right from the beginning, the more they have vested in listening. Start every speech with a grabbing statement. Now, a grabbing statement is something that is so impactful to the listeners in the audience that it really captures their attention. It grabs their attention. The purpose is to find some statistics, some words that you can share with them that, bless you, that really surprise them, that makes them look at their same issue in a different way. Now, another thing that you want to do with speaking is you want to take advantage of the energy that you have in the room that's available to you. You want to take advantage of your own energy, and one of the ways, for example, that I suggested people do it is that grounding exercise. There's another exercise I share with people, which is a repetition exercise, where you sort of repeat to yourself the same phrase over and over with more intensity and more intensity to build your energy up. The reason that I suggest to people that they build their energy up before they get on stage, so they hit the stage with energy, is I use the analogy of an automobile. And if you have a car and you need it to get to 60 miles an hour, how much more gas does it take to get the car to 60 if the car is stopped at a light, as opposed to if it's already going 40 miles an hour? You want to get yourself here fully present with your energy all ready to go. So at the moment of impact, your speech starts out with that big bang. The other thing that I advise you to do, get there while the applause is going on and be ready to start right as the applause is dying down. What you've done when you do that is you've given the audience a direct connection for their energy of applauding to translate directly into their energy listening. Movement on stage is a very, very important thing. The more movement that you have that's extraneous, that isn't really helpful to your talk, the more you're giving the audience a reason to stop paying attention to your message. Nothing should stand in the way of connecting your message with your audience. Your most effective posture is going to be well planted with your weight evenly balanced between your left and right side, your weight a little bit forward on the balls of your feet so that you're leaning imperceptibly forward, because that gets your energy up and out toward the audience. Your best base posture is your hands at your side. Once you've captivated people, once you've gotten their attention, the next thing you want to do is connect with them. You can't go right into your information without some connection. There's plenty of information out in this world. If I needed more information, I know precisely where I could look for it. I didn't come to hear a speech to get more information. I came to get a unique perspective. People are coming to get that personal connection, obviously. So the only way that you can lead them into that is to be sharing your story. Sure, for a lot of you, you can talk about a challenge that you've overcome that would inspire people in this room. So this is what you want to share. It's your most embarrassing stuff that will connect you the most. And it's also usually what will make you the most money. Go to where you can really say, this is how bad it was. This is how bad it got. This is what it made me do. This is how it changed me. And this is where I am now. people will respond to that, and that will give you much more of a connection. It's the action behind the words that gives the meaning to the sentences. It's not the words themselves. The exact same words can mean totally disparate things. Words have no meaning until a communication action is placed behind them. And that may seem strange to people because words, we're told, have meanings. They're in dictionaries. You open up a dictionary, it says what the word means. And yet, in this case, what I want people to understand is that the words in a sentence don't get their meaning until the communication action that you want is put behind them. I have a dream. It's so inspiring. It means something of passion, of weight, of purpose. And yet the words themselves don't mean that automatically. A little girl who wakes up at 3 in the morning because some dream didn't let her sleep is not coming into her mom's bedroom to enliven her mom. Oh, Mom, I had a dream. She's pleading. She's begging. I had a dream. The big payoff in this, the other person's reaction tells me if they got my intent. Now we're at the point of the speech. You've shared your story, and now you're going to share those pieces of information that you want people to walk away with. What are the crucial few things you want people to walk away with? If you give away 12 points in a 45-minute speech, after about the 5th point, people start being overwhelmed. People just start shutting down. So by trying to give too much information, you're actually subtracting from what you gave, and you're hurting the audience's ability to take it in. So what you want to do is focus on the crucial few points that are really those essential things to make sure the audience walks away with the most value they can that they can then implement. When you're using stories about clients, testimonials, examples, you want to use them here. You want to use them as illustrative of the points that you want to have happen, as opposed to starting out your speech with, okay, here's who I am, and here's testimonial 1 that proves I'm great, here's testimonial 2 that proves I'm great, here's testimonial 3 that proves I'm great, and now let me get into my content. When you're giving an audience the points that you're trying to share, what are those 3 or 4 crucial things? Did you have a client who took that crucial point and implemented it? And what happened for that person? Every speech should have a call to action. A wonderful thing about public speaking that I mentioned earlier, which is that for the duration of a speech, I can have your undivided attention. However, the downside of public speaking is it's ephemeral. Once you leave this room, within an hour you've lost 90% of what I've said. You want people to make their decisions in the room. Because once they've left the room, even if their intention is, oh, that was interesting, I'll think about it. Well, they don't have all the information anymore to think about it. Their motivation is never going to get stronger than when it's in the room. Getting people to that decision point in the room is of the most service to people. You want to enable them to make that decision by being very clear with your call to action. Now, ways to be clear with your call to action. You want your call to action to be singular. You want to make it compelling. You want to help people understand why this is important. And the reason that you do that goes back to the same reason we started with our talk. What are the benefits? What are the benefits of your call to action? You want to make it urgent, that the time to do it is now. The last thing that you want to do is you want to help people by giving them some internal incentive to do it now. And this is a little different from the urgency. The urgency is a general thing to try to appeal to people's needs. With this, you're trying to create an energy that they say, wow, there's some reason. There's really something in this for me if I do this today. Your role in speaking is getting them to make a decision. Because only once they've made a decision can the transformation happen.